have a very special
amo
training for
el poder tener la
everyone.
posibilidad
I
de estos
love to be
espacios
able to have the possibility to
y
be
como
in
es un
these spaces.
entrenamiento un
And
poco
since this
profundo,
is a
hoy les pido que
in-depth
abran su mente y
training,
su
I
corazón.
want you to
Este
open
es un
up your
entrenamiento
heart
completamente
and your mind.
diferente a
This is
los
a
que
completely
normalmente
different
se dan
training
por
to
acá,
what is normally done
por estos
here
espacios,
in
que
these
siempre es
spaces,
negocio,
that it's always
dinero, cómo
business,
vender, cómo
money, how to sell,
prospectar.
how to
Y
prospect.
yo hablando con Rachel,
And
las dos nos
talking
pusimos
to
a ver
Rachel,
que
we both
aquí hay
started
algo mucho
thinking
más
about this and
profundo que
realizing that
tenemos
there is
que
something
sanar
more deep here
como
that we have to heal as a culture, as a society, and it's our relationship with money. And I want you to know that this is something that I've been working on for many years and I continue working on because I think that this is not something that simply can be healed at 100% on its own. I think there are always different levels in which we can achieve, and that requires a lot of healing. So, truthfully, I think that people who come here, I hope you are with an open mind and an open heart, ready to receive, because this training comes with a lot of power for you. So, let us begin. And I want to make sure, Manuela, that you are all on mute, okay? Because we're going to do an internal work and activation. And at those times, I would prefer for there not to be any distractions. Okay? Amazing. So let me introduce myself for whoever doesn't know who I am. My name is Carla Sanchez. I've been for over 10 years as a digital entrepreneur, and I have had a very successful business where I help hundreds of women, coaches, mentors, therapists, founders to improve their income with their story of life and their knowledge. I also have a master in neurolinguistic programming with the new code, which is a very advanced technology where we work directly with your subconscious. So today I want to show you a bit about that work and not only show it to you, but do it together. And we're going to start this training with a certain questions that make us reflect on our own story with money. Okay, so at the moment, I want you to simply listen, but there will be moments in this training that I'm going to make you work. So if you have a paper in front of you, an agenda, uh, pen next to you, that would be amazing because we don't have a lot of time to do this type of exercise. But I would like for you, once and for all, to open the path in mind, body, identity, spirit, and soul. So we can be ready for when I ask a question, you can connect directly with your internal being and we can make the best out of this training together. Okay? So let us see. These are random thoughts that I want you to have so you can start installing these ideas inside of you. Okay, and one of those is that money is not just a paper or numbers or zeros on a bank account. Okay, money is an energy, an exchange energy. It's a representation of value, and it's a very powerful tool that impacts all the areas of your life. So then here, I would like you to start thinking, and not for you to respond right now, but we are going to respond at some time in this training. What did they teach you about money when you were a child? If you're like me, if your story is a bit like mine, nobody ever taught me absolutely anything about money when I was growing up. Actually, money was in my home and in my case, a reason of conflict. Okay? And when I started all this job of personal development, I realized that my story with money that I will let you know about today had a lot to do with that which I saw, with that which I perceived, with that which I saw with my parents, my grandparents, and my family. It was always an issue, money in my home. How did your parents manage their money or those reference figures? What emotions generates in you when you think about money? Does it generate calm? Does it generate anxiety? Does it generate fear? Does it generate happiness? Actually, I would like for you to close your eyes for a second right now and to think about money. What emotions does that word money bring to your life? only for a few seconds think about money, what do you feel in your heart? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it stress? Or is it peacefulness? Is it happiness? Or is it fear? Is it anxiety? Or is it joy? All that is very important when we're starting to heal our relationship with money. And now you can open your eyes, and here there is a very interesting exercise. And it is, if money were a person, how would you describe it? Actually, in one of my programs, I have a very powerful exercise where we say, my mom is, what is your mom? It could be good things or it could be not such good things. It could be tormentuous relationship. It could be whatever. But when you do that comparison of my mom is, and then you change it to my money is, it can surprise you. And that is the exercise that we're going to do now. Not right now. I'm going to give it to you as homework so you can see that it's very revealing for you. Now, I want to tell you a bit about my story with money because people sometimes say, oh, yes, you have a successful business, you have a husband who's a pilot, and you lived in a very privileged area. Well, that wasn't my reality my whole life. This is a reality that I've had to build, but it was not based on working alone or working with effort or working hard nonstop and burning my eyelashes. This was a job, obviously, with a commitment, with a decision, with entrepreneur habits that I've been installing in my life. But truthfully, what moved that needle greatly in my life was healing my relationship with money. And one of the things that I did, out of many things that I did, and I'm going to share a few of them with you, one of the ones that I did was to see how my parents' relationship with money was. What did I assume as something which was mine when truthfully that story was not mine? It was my parents and possibly my grandparents and possibly generations back when I was able to untie or to collapse that relationship that I was carrying on my back with money for generations. That's when I was able to start moving the needle in my financial life. So I come from a family that is very humble in Venezuela. Actually, my grandfather never married my grandmother because she was a very humble woman, and my grandfather came from a more privileged family, and they never got married. And my grandmother gave my grandfather 9 children, and my grandfather never wanted to give his last name to my mom and her siblings. So you can imagine what comes with all that, that scarcity, that lack of belonging, the not feeling that you're valued, not feeling that you're at a certain level. This is what I have with me. My grandmother, at one time, she had 10 children. Sometimes there was no food. That's where I came from. So afterwards, my parents got married very young. My father was 18 when they had me. My mom was young. She was 21 years old. They got married because I was on my way. And I actually did another training because about my shadow of not being enough and everything I've had to demonstrate in my years of life until I've been able to heal that part of my life and understand that I was enough just by being here right now. And that's a training that I can show you later because it was very powerful too. And my parents got married very young, and their whole life they were basically in conflict with money, their whole life. I don't remember moments in which fighting was not about money. Actually, my parents, when we were adults, my sister and I, they got divorced because of money problems. And the responsibility of all of this was because my mom loaned me some money at a time that I had a $40,000 debt. Okay. That was 15 years ago because I didn't have a healthy relationship with money. And since my mom loaned me that money, my father had other ideas of what he was going to do with with that money, and they ended up getting a divorce. That's where I come from thinking that due to something that my mom helped me with, my parents separated because of that. So it's been a lot of stories that I've had to heal in the process of my relationship with money. I come from earning $30,000 a year. That if you're in Latin America, possibly that sounds like a lot, but in the US, we know that it is not a lot. And generating very, very little income a month to having a company that generated the first $1 million. And this is something that I say very proudly, and I say it openly because we need to start to talk about money as a friend. And one of the things that they said to us, and probably to many of you, is that, good things, you shouldn't talk about them because then people are envious and jealous and they send you bad vibes and all the good things disappear. That's all those beliefs that come from our society, from our parents, etc., our grandparents, etc. So that's one of the things that has helped me a lot to have a better relationship with money is first of all to see where I come from, to be able to unblock that. And today we're going to do several exercises to see today and start to unblock this abundance in your life. And via the story of our life to see that this is possible, but the work is an internal job. It's not working harder. It's creating healthy habits and healing that healthy relationship with money to welcome more abundance in your business. So I want you to write in the chat if any of this is something that you feel identified with, if maybe there's something that you think, oh, yes, when I was young, they would say this to me, or yeah, my parents also fought for money. I also come from a humble family. I would like to see in the chat to see how you're feeling and how you're integrating and installing these beliefs and these stories about money in your lives. And that way we can see how we can change and how we can transform those stories about money with new beliefs, new transformations for our lives. Okay, I love that. Exactly, Olivia. That's exactly it. Yes, correct. Yes, I remember a very toxic relationship with my mom with money. I come from a humble family. I lived like this my whole youth, knowing that you have to work very hard to have something. That was something that was very rooted inside me because my parents, when they got married very young, they started to work very, very young and they started to have businesses since they were very young. And that's why that was part of all the problems and all the financial conflicts. So we all have different stories, obviously, but what I want to work here today is what is your relationship with money? Because possibly and I have friends who didn't live in scarcity. They have other kind of issues with money because it disappears too quickly because they don't know how to maintain it. That they went bankrupt different times because they never had to really work for money. So there is always something that we can improve in our relationship with money, depending on our story. Okay, so let's continue today. Okay, perfect. So why healing your relationship with money? Most of our beliefs of these, most of our beliefs were created when we were young, what we saw, what we were taught, and it could be blocking your capacity of generating money and richness. So some examples of limiting beliefs. Let me please ask you to write down in the chat what limiting beliefs you think you might have about money. Money is difficult to achieve. Money corrupts people. If I want to be rich, I have to work nonstop. That's one of the things I believe because I always saw my parents working nonstop. We were working with them. Well, not actually working, but we were there with them at our job. So our house was that job. So being, let me know what kind of limiting beliefs you could be having about money. I want to read that. I want to know that. Let me write this down in the chat. What type of limiting beliefs do you have at this time about money? Okay, that's it. We're not going to talk about following the same lifeline, but if you're interested in this and you want to continue talking in depth about this, we can talk about those patterns and how we can transform those patterns. Okay, yes, look, money separates couples. Exactly. To believe that I don't deserve it. We are poor and we need to work hard. There's a lot of debts. We need to work a lot to have money. There is no money. How many times did we ask for something and they said, there's no money for that. There's no money for this, right? When the one who's poor is poor and the rich is rich. If I'm a millionaire, God won't like me. How interesting. You need to work hard to obtain anything. That money doesn't grow on trees. What does that mean? That we have to work very hard to be able to reach it, right? That if you have money, you're not worth it. Look at that. Imagining that I wouldn't have a family. That's something very typical. Imagine what I had to heal when my parents divorced because of my fault, because of something that I simply assumed, but it wasn't that way. It's better to be poor, but to be honest. That means that people who have money are not honest. Money brings tragedies. Exactly. Look at everything that we're carrying, everything that we're bearing, and many of these beliefs are not yours. These beliefs are our family members, our ancestors, our grandparents. So what can we do to change this? And today we're going to start to talk a bit about this job of transmuting and transforming those beliefs. Now, imagine how we can change these beliefs, and I would actually like for you to be paying attention to what you're writing. And if you have paper and pen, at hand that you can use to write down your beliefs. Maybe somebody here writes down a belief and says, oh, wow, I have that belief too, but I wasn't aware. So let's start writing them down because that is also part of the job that we're going to do in a few minutes, okay? So how can we be transforming these beliefs? Okay, obviously, simply by changing one for another, it would seem like it's not as effective, but it is the first step to be able to start changing them. Everything that you say to yourself is a belief, right? Because it's coming from you, it's coming from a thought, and it becomes a reality in your life because our subconscious doesn't know if what you're saying and you're feeling is real or if it's a lie. So imagine what an amazing power that we have, what an amazing power that our mind has. That if you start, even though if you didn't believe it at the beginning, if you start changing what you say to yourself for something which is the contrary of what you're saying to yourself, you start to install a new belief. This is not a job that happens only once. I'm going to change my beliefs. I'm going to write a beautiful one and I'll be a millionaire tomorrow. No, that's not how it works. But if we start to say this to ourselves and reprogram ourselves and to install new decrees, we're going to start to do the job. Today, we're not going to go so in depth. Obviously, in a 1 hour training, we can't go so in depth, but we are going to touch a few areas to be able to start that transformation and that change in money. Okay, so how can we install new expansive beliefs? If we have these limiting beliefs on one side that we just saw and everything that we are writing down, imagine on the other side, and to write the contrary, money flows easily towards me because I give the world value. Money makes the best come out of me because it helps me serve others. I can generate richness without sacrificing my well being and my happiness. Money and spirituality go hand in hand when I use it with purpose. So I am sure that if I ask you to write down in your chat all the new expansive creations, it's going to be a bit more work unless you already have a path of working your relationship with money. It's much easier, and the chat was full of limiting beliefs because they're present. It's something that we possibly say to ourselves every day. But these expansive beliefs, since nobody ever said to us, Since nobody helped us since we were young to say this to ourselves because it wasn't what we saw, it becomes a bit more complex. It's not impossible, but it's a bit more complex. Okay. So let's do this exercise. Next to your limiting belief, you're going to write an expansive belief, and you can write just one for the time that you have at this moment, okay? So one can be that money is difficult to achieve, and the other one, the opposite, can be that money flows easily towards me because I give value to the world. Money corrupts people, or the contrary is money gets the best of me and makes me show the best and helps me to produce more. If I want to be rich, I have to work nonstop. We can change it. I can create richness without sacrificing my well-being and my happiness. Being happy and having money doesn't go hand in hand, can be changed to money and spirituality go hand in hand when we use it with purpose. So when the exercise that we're going to do now, I'm going to give you 1 minute. You're going to write the limiting belief on the top and how you would change it underneath, okay? Let's start with this because now we have a very, very powerful exercise that is going to help us. So if you have that phrase of the new expansive belief, it's going to help you a lot with this other part of the exercise. Let me give you 1 second. I'm going to put on the timer now for you to write the limiting belief on the top and the expansive belief on the bottom, the same message so we can see it and we can have continuity on this exercise, okay? Let's put 1 minute on the clock. Okay. I love it. What I see is a lot of expansiveness. I think it's spectacular. Now we're going to do the limiting one on the top and the expansive one on the bottom. I love that, Diana. Money is an illusion, and the expansive is money is real and abundant in me. I love that. There is no money. I have money to serve and to serve myself. That's amazing. And I would like you to also think on how LifeWave, how this business that we do with the patches, when we are thinking of receiving that abundance, how are we truly helping many people? Because this isn't only a money to make money with this business. We are helping many people to feel better, to have more energy, to regulate many things, to regenerate, to self-heal and regenerate things in your body. Okay, I'm reading here now. I'm just going to read the limiting and afterwards the expansive to see the difference. I love this, Patricia. She says, money is difficult to achieve and money flows towards me because I give value to the world. Money gives me a good feeling and makes me afraid. Money is my friend, and I feel happy to have money in my life. I love that. I don't have the mindset to reach what I want. To change it, my mind about it is not difficult. But look, Sandra, I'm happy that we saw this because we didn't speak about it. We are going to work this always in a positive way, okay? Look, Olivia says that money isn't bad, and her expansive belief is money enhances the best out of me and allows me to serve others. So when we say that money is not bad, we are reinforcing the belief that money is bad because your unconscious works in a very complex way. And that is why we have to give the instruction to the subconscious as if they were Alexa. If you say something to Alexa that is very complicated and she doesn't understand it too well, she's going to say, repeat it because I didn't understand. So the subconscious is the same. You have to give her specific instructions for her to give you the results faster. Money leaves as it arrives. Money arrives and multiplies. I love that. I love that, Diana. Money is not everything. Money helps me have everything. Wow, that's amazing. I love it. It's very difficult for me to earn money, or money arrives through the blessing of God. I accept whatever they pay me. I'm so good in what I do that I can obtain the money that I deserve. Spectacular. I love it. Money separates family. Money unites family. I love that. Wonderful. Thank you very much for being so active with this exercise. I love it, and it's going to help us very much for what we're going to do today. These are examples of how money generate impact. And I know that many of you know this, and so do I, but When we sit intentionally and we give a space to seeing the impact that we can generate in our life and in others' lives, we start to give more openness for more to abundance to arrive to our lives. So examples of how money generates impact in your life and others' life, you can offer your kids education of quality. You can invest in professional and personal growth. You can donate and support causes that resonate with you. And I want you to give your examples here in the chat too. How can money generate an impact in your life and other people's lives around you? It can generate employment and opportunity for others. For example, with LifeWave, I have an assistant. Without LifeWave, I wouldn't be able to give my assistant work because I'm very busy with my other job also. So I just started in LifeWave. In my first month that I entered LifeWave, I recovered my investment and I made that investment work for me because for me, time is more valuable than money, truthfully. Because I already have that mindset. I healed that relationship with money. I continue healing it, obviously. But now I can put the money to work for me so I can continue to maxify and multiply the benefits in my life and in others' lives. I can give my family experiences that they will never forget. So how does money make a positive impact in your life? How can money generate a positive impact in your life and in others' lives? Money helps me support my husband. Money helps me work because money works for me. Exactly. I love that. Making others work, feel good, blessing the ones in need, helping our parents. Money is super important because it gives you options of helping your family and having a better quality of life. And here it is important for us to think, okay, how much would my life change if I had 50,000 extra dollars a year? A year. How would that change your life, your family's life? Suddenly, you can pay for those vacations and you can bring 10 members of your family and give them something that they had not been able to share in family. Or maybe $50,000, which is almost 2 years in college for your son. So how could that change? How could that make an impact in your life and others' lives around you and your loved ones? The fact that they can generate more money. So these conversations, my daughter's wedding, how can you be happier? So it is important that when we talk about money and when we have this concept of money and when we bring in this concept of money and this conversation of money, it's important for us to put in this that we feel and how this makes an impact in our lives and others' lives. It is super important and we need to speak more about money as a community, Hispanic community, as a society, as women and Hispanic women and men. We need to talk more about money and talking more about money like this openly. Because that is part of money has always been, at least in my house, it has always been a stigma. You don't talk about money. You don't say how much you earn. You don't say this and that. And at the end, things are better when I say what I earn and when I share it and when I use it as inspiration for others. Because I come from not generating. I come from debt, not even not generating. I come from on minus zero. So I feel that talking about money heals. It heals very much. It heals our toxic relationships that we can have with money. Very well. So let's work. Okay. We already did part of the process. We're already talking about money. We feel more comfortable saying that money has an impact. Money is good. Money is positive. Money, right? So let's start to talk about money in a healthy way. Okay. Now let's move into action. Let's start creating our power commitment. This is an exercise that we're going to do just 2 minutes for you to be able to declare a power statement. Many of you have already created their power statement without knowing it when they declare that expansion about money. They were already creating their power statement, but our power statement is going to have an I am. I am a woman, I am a man who this, and that about money, okay? Or another option is my relationship with money is. So there are two ways. You can use one or the other, whatever sounds more for you. Important. This is in positive, in present, and it is in reality in your life the day of today. I'm saying that in the future, I would think that money can serve for, no, it's today because that is what's going to help us for the second part of the exercise, which is a little reprogrammation that we are doing with our subconscious to heal our relationship with money. Okay. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to put some music now. Sorry, I think I didn't share with music. Let me share my screen again with music to see the prompts. Okay, 2 minutes starting now. Let's do our power statement. Let's write our power statement with two prompts. I am a woman or I am a man, and my relationship with money is. This playlist is called Music to Attract Money. And I'm reading you in the chat, right? Start sharing in the chat, please. Your power statement. This doesn't have copyright, so yes, no monetization. Do you want me to take it off? If you do, I can stop it. I love what I'm reading. Okay, let me turn off the music so we don't have any issues with it. Okay, let me read this. Okay, that is amazing. Very good. I am an abundant woman. Money comes from me in ways that I expect and not expect from me and my family. I am a woman that honors and receives money with gratitude. I love that, Alejandra. Thank you. My relationship with money is amazing. It's abundant and it ingratiates me. I love that. I am a man that flows with money, with the value that I give the world with my talents. That is super powerful. I love it. I am a woman that honors and receives money with gratitude. I'm a woman that generates a lot of money and I feel happy about that. Bravo, Patty. Amazing. I am an abundant woman. Money flows towards me with ease. I love that. Amazing. My relationship with money has to do with respect, good management, and satisfaction of earning it honestly and being able to share it. That is amazing. That is super, super powerful. There are some that are a bit longer than others. For this part of the exercise that we're going to do now, I would like for people who have the longest exercise, the longest statement, to learn one part of what they wrote, because we're going to do an exercise now that you can have it in your hand and you can read it too. Okay, so for this part of the exercise, we need to stand up. I know there are some people who are driving. Don't worry about that. You can see the recording, and in that time, you can start working on it. Whoever can start doing it today can doing it to know now. Whoever wants to turn off the camera can do it, no problem. This part of this exercise is very powerful, and it's part of the reprogramming that we're going to start to install. Let's put it in the gallery to see who I can see. So people who want to do this exercise, welcome. And whoever don't want to do it and want to do it later, okay, that's perfect. Whoever wants to turn off the camera because they feel more comfortable, perfect. And for this exercise, the idea is to stand up. And in front of you, we're going to have a space in blank. That blank space, which is in front of you, you're going to localize it. You're going to give a step forward whenever I give it to you. Localize it, look for it, and you're going to see that man or that woman who lives that power statement. So from this position, you're going to look to the floor and you're going to see that woman or that man who already lives with this power statement. You're going to see them. It's that easy. You're going to feel them. You're going to live it. It's a present. It's there right in front of you, a step from you. When we count to three, we're going to give a step forward and follow my instructions. 1, 2, and 3. Give a step forward, close your eyes, and in this moment, repeat your power phrase, your statement, what you just finished. If you need to open your eyes and read about it, you can do it, no problem. We're going to say this once. Now you're going to turn your shoulders back, your chin towards the sky, and you're going to say this with a smile. Okay? 1, 2, 3, your chin towards the sky, your shoulders backwards, and smile. And now say your statement of power. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do it once again, but this time with your shoulders back and your chin towards the sky and a smile, you're going to add an emotion to it. This emotion that you're going to add is the emotion of unconditional love. So think about someone who you love with the whole strength of your heart. Think of that love that you feel towards that person, that unconditional love. Bring this person to your mind. And when we count 3, with your shoulders back and your chin to the sky and a smile on your face and this unconditional love vision, you're going to repeat your power statement. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Very well. Now we're going to add one more ingredient. When we count to 3, apart from your shoulders back and your chin to the sky and your smile, that unconditional love, you're going to add a moment of plain happiness. Think of a moment of happiness that you had in your life. You're going to add when you count to 3 to this whole statement. 1, 2, 3. Unconditional love, total happiness, your shoulders back, your chin to the sky, a smile, and your power statement. Very well. Let's breathe in deep. Let's inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And little by little, we're coming back to this space. We're going to open our eyes. I see a few people smiling there. I want you to tell me in the chat, how did you feel about this? What was your experience? What did you feel? What did you integrate? It's not only saying it, it's feeling it. Because your subconscious doesn't know if you're lying or not. They don't know if it's happening or not. Exactly. The subconscious is just feeling an instruction. And when you're telling them with your body about that instruction out of your thoughts and how you feel, that's when reprogramming starts. I love that. Emotion. I felt something in my chest that was magical. I had so much joy and lived in it. I love that, Ronald. That was very exciting. I feel happy. I feel joyful and fulfilled. The connection with my inner self. I felt that it happened right now, right here. Peace, love, satisfaction. I had a lot of happiness and confidence. Of course, there's going to be a recording for this, obviously. Yes. My body felt light and my soul free. Thank you. I felt so excited that I feel like crying. Think about what we just achieved in less than 3 minutes. Imagine that you start and end your day with 2 minutes doing this. Just 2 minutes. Do you think that this would make a change and an impact in your lives? Do you think that this would give you more openness, more abundance? Do you think that this is what can change the needle in your job? Let it be with LifeWave, with whatever you do, with your relationship with money? Exactly. Totally. It feels like abundance. That is the job of reprogramming. That is the work that we do. And that job is available for all of you. We can do it. It doesn't take too long. It takes commitment. It takes creating a habit, like a daily habit, like brushing our teeth. We take 2 minutes to brush our teeth, correct? Brush them for 2 minutes, and afterwards you can do your power statement, bringing these statements and this physical aspect that gives much more abundance to our business, our life, and whatever we do. So right now I have a light homework for home, okay? Let me share it here. And you can take a picture. This recording will be available, and you can take a picture so you can do this job at home. And it's writing a letter of gratitude to money. How many times do we thank money? Because it is an instrument that allows us to do many things. It always seems like we have a toxic relationship with money, that it's not enough, that we want more, that I have debt, that it's not enough. Imagine that you had a relationship with someone and that all the time they'd be like, oh, this, and that. Well, it's the same thing. Money wants to be where it is received with happiness, where it's received with joyfulness, with open arms. So writing a gratitude letter to money, let it be that you have or you don't have, let it be enough or not enough, regardless of if you have debt or not. Here you are today. So take a few minutes tonight if it's possible, because we always forget, yeah, I'll do it later. Take a picture to this and thank money for what it has allowed you to learn for today, because here we are. We were able to enter a business where the minimum we need to enter is $300. All of us have at least $300 because that's what allowed us to be here today. So let's thank money. Let's write money a gratitude letter. Let's start to heal that relationship with money. Let us start seeing money as what it truly is, a tool that allows us to continue growing and building an impact in life. So thank them for what they've been able to do until today, and share how you would like the presence of money to be in your life from now on. Not from the please money come to me. No, but from the I'm open to receiving you because I deserve more. Because since we have more, it allows me to impact many lives, starting with mine. So imagine that you're preparing that letter to the person that you most love in the world. And it's a letter for gratitude for money. Who is willing to do it? Put me in the chat if you think that this is something that can help you or that calls your attention or that you want to do. Okay, amazing. I love that. Super. And it seems like simple things, but even though they are, imagine what we were able to feel in only 5 minutes. All these things happen. They happen to me. I have hundreds of clients that it works with. So it seems like little things, but it moves the needle amazingly. Okay? Perfect. We have 10 minutes left of our time. I am thinking about, I have much more to share, but I cannot do it all in what we have left of time. So I'm thinking about choosing what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do in these last 10 minutes. Let's go to financial habits of an entrepreneur, okay? And these are certain things that have helped me to welcome more when I come from -0. One of them is not here, and it's thanking money each time that money comes in and comes out. When I learned about this, which is something that I learned, I'm forgetting about the name, but he is a Japanese person, and oh, I forgot the name, but he talks about, and look at this, we can be grateful. Ken Honda, exactly. Thank you. We can be very grateful easily when money comes, but what about when money leaves? Because money never leaves, it always comes back. But when money is used for something, it can come back multiplied. And this is one of the things that I do in with the reprogramming my subconscious. I created something which is an anchor. And this is my anchor. When my money leaves, I say arigato, arigato, thank you, money. I bless my money. I say it in Japanese. That's how I learned it. Arigato, my money. Thank you, my money. But when I receive money, sorry, but when I have to pay something, when I have to invest a big investment, also arigato my money, because that money is what makes me have a healthy relationship with money. So it's not, oh my God, I need to pay. No, I bless the possibility of having enough money to pay. And while we talk about, for example, taxes in this country, sometimes we think, I don't want to pay so many taxes, but you know what happens? If you don't pay taxes, you are not earning the money that millionaires earn, right? They pay a big amount of taxes. They don't mind. There's more. So it's thinking about it from the abundance perspective and not the scarcity. So part of our financial habits is learning to manage your money with clarity. You have a financial plan? Do you have a savings plan? Are you one of those people who invest or not? And here, with this invitation, I don't want you to say, no, no, I don't know how to administer money. I don't know how to earn or invest. No, simply we're going to see the opportunity of improving that can exist here because this is a part of doing. We already worked a lot on the part of being. Now we're working on doing, which is habits, okay? So you manage your money with clarity, or could there be an opportunity of improving? Check. Put a check or a better opportunity of improving. You have a financial plan or do you need to have one? Okay, check or I need to do it. Do you have a savings plan or not? Do you invest or not? Opportunities of improving or check, they're done. Another important habit is, do you take decisions based on abundance and not on lack, scarcity, or fear? And it's very easy to know this. When you're going to pay something, do you pay from the, oh my God, or do you pay from, oh no, my account is less, there's less money in my account? Or do you pay knowing that it will be multiplied? Do you pay trusting that it will come back? Do you pay knowing that this is a tool that allows you to multiply your abundance, right? And another super important thing, do you monitor your income and your expenses? And do you celebrate each time that there is a financial growth? Let it be $500, $1,000, $100. And Let me tell you that in my case, as a businesswoman, I work with a methodology which is profit first that has helped me a lot with my business. That basically is this, it's monitoring the income that comes in and dividing it between different accounts so I don't have to worry at the end of year, where does the taxes come from? Where do I get enough to pay my employees in the business? No, I have a system of income and expenses that maintains my nervous system calm with money. And the part of celebration is very important, Alexandra. It's very important. This is one of the first habits that I teach the moms that I work with, one of the most important entrepreneur habits that I help them to have. And that doesn't mean that you're going to go out to celebrate purchasing a wallet or shoes that you cannot pay. Not necessarily does it have to be something material. It can be going out and having a drink with your husband or going to the jacuzzi with him or having dinner at home. It can be seeing a movie with popcorn to celebrate yourself. The fact is that the action that we give ourselves to celebrate ourselves should be specifically for that, to celebrate ourselves for that growth. Okay? Okay, amazing. We have a couple of minutes left and I want to leave you with an activation, okay? So let's start with an activation of around 3 minutes. For this activation, obviously, we are going to need for people who are driving to continue driving, please. And the other people who want to do this activation can close their eyes. If you want to turn off the camera because you feel more comfortable, you can do that. If you want to maintain the cameras on, that's perfect too. Our idea here is for you to give yourself to this exercise, receive, and open up to infinite abundance. Here I am going to need music, but it is a music with no rights, okay, my darling soul? Because this is the one that I use for my experiences. Very well. So let's breathe in deep, breathing through our nose and exhale through your mouth 3 times. We inhale, exhale, close your eyes. If my arms are crossed or my legs are crossed or my arms are inside my pockets, let's take them out. Let's be present and let us receive. There you go. And at this time, I want you to imagine in front of you a movie screen. You are seeing your favorite movie, and that movie is the movie of your life, already having healed your relationship with money. And if you already healed your relationship with money, imagine that there's another level of healing. Imagine that there's more. And in this movie, you are seeing everything in a third person view. Everything is happening in front of you. And you see this woman of this or this man in front of you living their life, their dreamt life. How do you live? How is your dream life? Who is with you in your dream life? Who shares your dream life with you? What is your relationship with money now after healing your relationship? How can we impact this money directly in your life and your family's life? And when we count to 3, we are going to feel that we travel towards that screen and that you become a part of this movie. When we count 1, 2, 3, now we're there, living your movie in first person. You're not the screen, now you are yourself. How do you feel? Who is with you? Look around you. Look at everything you've achieved, everything that you have, and everything that you are. How does it feel to live in full, infinite abundance, to live in gratitude? Now give thanks. Give thanks to money. Thank yourself for healing your relationship with money. Remember that this is possible to feel every day. So little by little, we can breathe deep. Hmm. Little by little, you can open your eyes. And I would like to thank you for having been so open the day of today, for having received whatever that you needed to receive today. I want you to write down in the chat what you bring with you to this training today. If there's something that you can share from an insight or a discovery, something that you already knew, but you needed to have that reminder. Thank you, Paulina. Okay, amazing. Wow, that's beautiful. That's so healing. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and your teachings with a lot of love. It's a marvelous exercise. Gratitude, peace, and alignment. Wonderful. This was super. Oh, yes, actually, I didn't tell you that part of the training was this. It was much more. This is something else that I do. I have this in my office, and it's basically my power statements. I have my $1 million check that became a reality, and everything that I stated that I need to generate in my business. How many clients do I need? How many customers in LifeWave? How much do I want to generate? Because that's how specific we have to give our subconscious our instructions. We cannot continue living, okay, yes, I want more, but you're not telling them how much is more. More can be $1 more. More can be $5 more. So let's be specific with this. I want to know if this training, if you would like more of these types of trainings, because we are testing the waters with these kinds of trainings with the team. So I would like to know if you would like to continue to have these kinds of trainings so I can let Rochelle know that here we can see if definitely this can move the needle in your businesses. We thought that it could, but your feedback is important too. And don't worry, I don't take anything personally, but we would like to know with feedback if this is something that you would like to continue receiving. I can continue working on the next parts of the trainings. We can go in a bit more in depth. And actually, today I started a little bit in a more deeper layer because what I do is pretty deep. But yes, we want to know if you're ready. If this is something that interests you, that calls your attention, that you would like to continue doing. How do you get that check? Okay, this is a $1 bill, and I simply wrote $1 million. That's all. That's it, Sandy. Yes, I love it. And it became a reality. It costed me a few years, but it became a reality. Okay, I want to work more in healing money. Okay, beautiful, Carla. That's super for the whole team and for our growth. I love that. Perfect. So I would like to invite you that if you want these kinds of trainings and you want more than this, more of this, let Carlos and Rochelle know through the Be the Light chat. And definitely, I'm going to show you everything I've got for you to be able to continue helping you and for us to continue working together to do many things and growing and expanding as a team. So I'm sending you a great hug, kisses, and I love you. Bye.